Hello everyone, thank you once again for tuning in to my channel. I did a recent unboxing for this particular Wolverine figure from Sideshow, and there was a request to get my opinion on it. So I've had a few days with this figure now. For some of you who don't, well, for the folks who don't know me, I do toy photography as well. So I do a lot of things with the figures, and so it's really a big thing for me for the toys to have articulation, be able to stand, and things like that. So with all the things that I've been doing with this particular figure so far, I think now is a good time to like really give my opinion on it, on what things I've encountered and what is good, what's bad, things like that. So I'm just going to just do a quick little review on it, just to give you some things. So for those who are interested, you'll know what to watch out for, or hopefully this will help you make your decision in picking up the figure. I don't normally use stands and stuff like that, because I like it when a figure is able to stand on their own. So right now I just got him just sitting on the stand, just so that he'll be able to stand there. You'll be able to get a good look at him. In my previous video, I did a lot of close-ups and everything, so you could really see all the material and the joints and everything like that. So I'm really not going to touch on that too much. In this video, I'm just going to talk about the things that I've encountered, and hopefully it'll help you make your decision. So I've actually been looking forward to getting this particular figure. I already own the previous version that Sideshow put out of the Wolverine with the brown and the yellow, and so I like that one, but I gotta say this particular one was my favorite. So I was really looking forward to getting this particular version of Wolverine. I will say, first off the bat, the thing I like about this figure as opposed to the other one is I like the closed mouth. I kind of understand that sometimes in the comic books, you see Wolverine where they kind of draw him with fangs and stuff like that, and so that's what what they were trying to maybe kind of do with the other Wolverine. And in my personal opinion, I really didn't like that look. So with this one, I like the fact that he has the closed mouth. It's also really good because it kind of lets you know that Sideshow just didn't do the exact same head sculpt. They actually changed it up a little bit. So I do like this particular look. So far, the things I do like about this figure is the material and how it really hides the joints, and the fact that the material stretches, so you can really see how you can really move, and the material is flexible. That's really big for me when I do my photography, because the thing is I like the toys to look as real as possible, so it kind of gets you to take a second look. So with this kind of material put on it to where he can actually move, and the material moves with him, I think that is really good in my point. I think the stitching is really good. It's the same thing they did with the other Wolverine, so I'm glad that they kind of repeated it here with this one. So you can really move with that. The other thing is I also like the pivot with the ankles and everything, so you can really get some nice dynamic poses with that. Same for the top. I also like that this little material that they put right here. I think that's a nice touch on it, and it's also really good so when you're moving the joints around, the plastic doesn't rub off on the arms. So I think that's a really good idea for the figure, to kind of preserve the paint job that's done on the figure. Mine in particular, it just tended to happen with this one, with the stuff I got. You'll see that there's kind of like this little crack in there where it just it's not something that's broken, it's just they didn't it wasn't sealed properly. So kind of like when I'm taking the thing off, let's see, you can take the arm off here, you can see it's kind of a you know, kind of little gap there. It's not really a big deal because once I, you know, get it in place and everything, is you know, it's not a big problem. The other thing I gotta say that I've kind of run into some issues with is these plates here, which I think they really did a good job as far as coming up with this idea where you can just remove these pieces so that you can, if you want a fisted hand with these here with the claws, you can place them on. So I think that's a good idea. The only issue is that and this could just be just mine in particular, they're pretty loose. So there's a lot of times I place this on and it literally just falls right off. I don't know about anyone else who has experienced the issue. I'm just speaking for mine. It's not really too big of a deal because the majority of the time when I put this together and put my figure in a pose, I place it on there and it stays. So it's not too big of an issue. It's just kind of a little annoyance when you're putting it on and then the slightest little movement you make, it comes off. One of the things that actually helps a little bit is on the gauntlet there. I don't know if you can kind of see it. There's like this little lip that comes out, and that will actually help hold it in place. So you really don't have to do too much with it, but it's like if you're having it like that, it's fine. But let's say you want to turn it in a little bit and bring the arm in, it no longer has that protection. So it really just falls right out. But like I said, once you get it in place, it should stay and you really shouldn't have any problems. But either way, I still think it's a good idea to have that, so it's not always like you either get it, you know, with the other Wolverine, you either had it with the one hand where his hands are out and the claws are out, and you either had the fist with no claws at all. It was like that was your choice. You couldn't do anything. But with this, I think it's a good idea to be able to have that choice, so you can get just a little more range as far as your poses and ideas and stuff like that. I think it's really good. Same with the other Wolverine also. You just can swap the arms out, which also I think is really good for when it comes to taking photos. You can, you know, put the arm in and then not have any, you know, you can't see the joints. Again, this could just be with mine, not with anyone else's. It could just be just how the arm was molded. But the other arm, I'm able to just slide it right in with no problems. This here, I kind of have to work a little more because it seemed like just the mold was done slightly different. The slightest little centimeter or anything like that can actually affect how far you can push the joint in so you can see it. With the other Wolverine, because it was cloth and not this hard piece, the cloth kind of came over and covered it up a little bit, so that helped. But this one, because of the outfit's a little more exposed, and so that's just kind of the thing you have to deal with. You can see more how that crack comes out whenever I'm trying to move it, but it hasn't been really too big of a deal. So you have this choice, you can put this one in, or if you want to bring it closer, bring the claws in closer. This was the same arms, or these are the same arms that came with the previous Wolverine. The one thing I do like about this arm in particular is you can bring it in so that he has his claws like right there. Like I'll give you, get an example here, you can see. So I take this here, you slide that gauntlet on, and then you put that then there, and let's go ahead and give it another, give him his claw. So this is one of the other things that I really like, because you can really bring those claws close to his face, and by doing that you won't get that exposed joint. Let's say if you were to do it with this arm, you bring it in, and see, the thing is you can bring it, that joint is exposed, but also, and this is minor issue, but I think it's really cool. When you do this is as far as it goes as far as bringing the arm in. So as you can see, With this molded, he actually brings it in closer. So he brings closer to his head. So like, so if you want to do a pose like where he's crossing his arms, so that's a really famous pose where he crosses his arms and has the claws cross. That's a really good idea. You can see the difference there. You see how with this one, same arm as the other one, I can't bring it in that close. But with this extra arm, you can bring it in even closer to his chest and really get that look, that X look. So I think that's a really good idea. It worked with the previous Wolverine from Sideshow, and I'm glad they included it again on this one. So the other thing is the bone claws that he comes with. I believe this was for the exclusive Wolverine one. I think it's also still available on their site. He had the bone claws. Now these particular ones you cannot change. You cannot swap these out. The other ones you can with the metal claws, but with these you cannot. Also, when it comes to the material, because some people asked this before, these claws, they're I guess you could say, if you want to call them metal, it feels more like aluminum. So it has that metal feel, like that cold metal feel look to it, and how it feels. But it's not like a real metal. Like, it's not magnetic. I mean, if you want to check something like that. So it still gives that appearance that they're metal. They are very stiff, so that's really good. But it really feels like it's more just like an aluminum. It still kind of gives that metal look, but it's I'm not sure exactly the material. I'm just assuming that this was kind of an aluminum that they used to make these, but it still gives that metal look. I think it's still pretty cool. You still get that shiny effect to it. So yes, it's a nice touch to it. I think they did something similar with the other Wolverine that they released before, but I think this one they kind of added a little more to it, whether it be the paint job or the material. I'm not exactly sure, but it's still a nice touch to it. So yeah, that's the other thing. So I'm gonna actually see if I can get the other Wolverine so you can kind of do the side-by-side comparison with those two. So let's check that out. Okay, so here is the side-by-side comparison from the previous Sideshow release of Wolverine as opposed to the latest one. Again, you can clearly see right off the bat the difference between the two. How you have, this is a cloth, so it comes down a little bit more and covers the joints, as opposed to this having a hard plastic that extends out. Also see again the different facial expressions, which I'll give you a little closer look so you can see. You see the difference between the two. Same around the eyes and everything. This you can see the yellows are a little bit different, but again, you see the different facial expressions. So yeah, you can see the also difference in the material. Now with this, it's sealed all the way. This one, it kind of had a flap, so you can kind of adjust it, but the flexibility, the flexibility in the joints and everything, you can see how the knees move, and the material does a really good job of hiding those joints. So I think they did a good job with this one, but I gotta say that it's just a little better when it comes to this outfit. Depending upon your preference as far as which outfit you like, that's all up to you. So the other difference with the old one as opposed to the new one is this is the only head sculpt you get. This one actually came with two head sculpts. You had this masked version, and then you had the unmasked, which I will say a lot of folks are not too happy about that, but I mean, that's your comic book style look for that. And so when you got that other head sculpt, it came with a magnet, so you can be able to stick the the hood on the back. So unfortunately, the new one doesn't come with that. that was just, you know, that was Sideshow's decision. And then again with the hands, and you see the hands that he comes with. This was all you got. You cannot take these pieces off. It was molded to it, so you cannot exchange that. You couldn't take those pieces off, so that's what you were kind of stuck with those hands. These were the other claws that he came with. So I'll show you, can see the difference between the two. Let's see if we can get this off here and you can take a closer look. So if you can see the difference in the paint job on it, you know, actually looks like it. No, they're the same length. They're the same length. But you can see the paint job looks a little different. I think this look, because it has this kind of brownish look to it when you see the comparison, I think it's more fitting to that color with that. Whereas with this particular Wolverine, having that steel look, that silver look to it, it really caters to the paint job of the other figure. So I think that was still really good. As you can see, it comes right off again, but it's all right. So yeah, I think this particular figure, like I said, it's really good. My personal opinion, I think it's really good. This is something I've been waiting for. I'm also looking forward to the Cyclops that they're going to be releasing soon. That has the same color scheme, so you can kind of live that 90s cartoon vibe when you saw the show, when he really, you know, wore that outfit and all the other characters that came out. So I'm really looking forward to that. The only thing I really wish that Sideshow would announce and make at this point is, you know, you see the Wolverine and you see those, one of his classic villains is Sabretooth. I mean, they made Magneto, so come on, please, Sideshow, please put that out there to have a Sabretooth, because that would be a really cool figure to have with the Wolverine. So yeah, so anyway, that's my opinion on the figure. I think it's, in my personal opinion, I think they did a good job. I think it's good. If you're trying to compare this Sideshow figure to some Hot Toys Wolverine or whatever, I would simply say that's not the style. That's not really what Sideshow was kind of going for when it came with this. You can tell with Sideshow, their stuff is a little more cartoony. So if you kind of want to go for that animated look, then that's the thing. But if you're trying to compare it to, say, like a Hugh Jackman Wolverine or something like that, that's just not the thing. That's not the case. This is just simply a different style. So anyway, that's my opinion on it. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have I answered any kind of questions or concerns. If you had anything that I didn't speak of, any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and hopefully I'll be able to answer, you know, any other questions that I may have missed that you had concerns about. But yeah, there it is. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.